It's an early start this morning as we point the bikes south once again. We're back in South Africa now, rolling into what technically is the final stretch of the trip, and I'm sure there's a bit of a somber feeling floating around. We all know the end is somewhere out there, but absolutely not yet, because the next few days are packed with things to look forward to. Today kicking off with Schotia Safaris. We've got to be there by 2 PM to grab our safari truck, and from there it's game drives, wildlife and one of the best experiences in the Eastern Cape. But that's only the beginning. We've still got Hermanus, Cape Agulas, the true southern tip of Africa, legendary garden route, the Cape of Good Hope, and some of the most iconic coastal riding on the continent waiting for us. So yeah, the end might be on the horizon, but the adventure is far from over. In fact, some of the best days are still ahead.
Vibrate. He's calling.
So guys, we're here at Schotia, just picking up the guests. Been an amazing evening. So lots of wildlife, lots of sightings, game sightings, which was great. Sorry for the squeaky boots. Yeah, we had a really good experience with the male lion that they have here on the reserve last night. So yeah, look out for that one coming up next. So good morning guys, here we've got Roland Vass, and we've got Jordan Kelly, 2 guides on this year's the Grand Tour 2025. So guys, I just want to ask you a couple of questions. We'll start with you, Roland. What's been your favourite part of the tour so far?
Good morning, everybody. Yes, I think the favourite part of the tour to me has just been the way everybody has just clicked. You know, it's if everybody on the tour clicks, the tour then clicks. So I think that's been the favourite part in terms of places to be. Once again, the Victoria Falls Chobe area is just mind blowing.
Yeah, and I'd say probably the way the guests have overcome, I wouldn't say fears, but apprehensions. And you see a real delight in what they've achieved after the fact. I mean, sometimes it's not that pretty when we're doing it, but after the fact, it's pretty cool when you see them and realize what they've done.
Yeah, especially, you know, sometimes to do these tours and to get to the right places, you've got to come a lot of distance. And being a guide, I've noticed that sometimes people don't like to go over certain. Some of these people have done a lot of kilometers, and at the end of the day, they were smiling, and that's a good thing. I think just riding Africa also just increases your riding ability so much more.
Yeah.
How's your experiences been on this tour, and you, Roland, living in Africa? What's the food like here?
Well, I tell you, on this tour, you know, you British people speak of stone. We talk of rocks. The food is amazing, and you mustn't come here thinking that everything you eat is going to make you unwell. You understand? The food is of high quality. You know, we have high hospitality. The hospitality industry in Southern Africa is very competitive, so it's very high. The food is amazing. The places to stay are amazing, and yeah, and I'm none of the guests, to my knowledge, and there's been across a sphere of different types of food. None of the guests, to my knowledge, have picked up any type of bug or that type of thing. So I think that's a good thing as well.
Yeah, I agree. In terms of eating on the road, it's not always 5-star meals, of course, because as we said, we're doing long distances. We're traveling from point
Really
A
rural areas
to point B, rural areas. Sometimes there is nothing in between, and it'll be a gas station snack or pasty, and even them tasty, well made, and yeah, it's good food. Good food. And the lodges and accommodation we stay at, without giving it too much away, because we obviously would like you to come and experience it yourselves, are top quality. Top quality.
Jordan, if you had to pick one part of the Grand Tour that you could only do for the rest of your life, which part would you pick and why?
Oh wow, one part. Definitely wouldn't be the border crossings. It's a difficult question, eh? Elephant in the background. Oh. I think it would probably be northern Botswana.
The Chobe.
Exactly, the Chobe, one of our bush camps, straight over the border into Zimbabwe. You get Victoria Falls, all the animals, everything's up there. Everything that you would expect to see from Africa, you get in northern Botswana.
Yep. So Jordan, why should people come to Africa?
Well, that is there's a lot of answers to that question, I think. Animals. We've got some of the world's animals here that you won't see anywhere else on any other continent, except for obviously in zoos. People. Africa gets a bad reputation, I think, in its people, which is misrepresented. The 99.9% of them are friendly and just want to know about you. Roads. I mean, granted, there's a lot of straight boring roads in Africa because it is such a vast,
We have a wild lion that has entered the...
it's such a vast space that they have to get from point A to point B, and the roads are very straight and get you there. But there is also plenty of motorcycle roads as well in South Africa, so Garden Route, yeah, R62, yeah, animals, people, roads, and normally the weather. I mean, last night was the first time I've ever done a wet safari, which was also a cool experience. We saw some stuff that you wouldn't normally see. But yeah.
So John, what kind of motorcycles do you ride?
I'm on a 1300 GS. Basically we can get anything within reason, but you want something with a bit of power. Obviously talked about the last question, the long straight roads, so you need what I like to call a tarmac muncher, but then also something that you'd be happy to take in the off-road. So I think probably the 900 GSA would be the ideal.
James, can you explain to the viewers and the audience about our backup vehicles?
The backup vehicles? Yeah, of course I can. Well, yeah. So Jordan's asked that question because he's being funny. So I've ended up on the Yamaha Tenere 700 T7 because one of the guests, Africa Twins, its fork seals blew out at the Kazangula bridge border. So I swapped him onto my BMW F900 GS, and I took the backup bike off of the trailer and we put the Africa Twin on the trailer. What can I say? I personally don't like the Tenere. I think it's underpowered and the seat is basically a plank. But it is what it is. You got to do these things. Roland's in the truck. We got a Ford Ranger, 4x4. So when we're in the sand or we are going to Fish River, it doesn't get stuck. It's got luggage compartments on the trailer. We've got spare equipment, tyres, pumps, jacks, you name it. To keep us on the road, we've got it.
James, you just mentioned about luggage compartments and trailers and stuff like that. What can the guests expect in terms of size of bag they're allowed to bring?
So, we usually say no bigger than a carry-on. So whatever you can get onto an aeroplane, I'm not talking Ryanair, but a intercontinental carry-on bag is fine. Anything bigger than that, and we start to suffer. So keep it light, keep it small, keep it compact, and we'll be thanking you later on, I'm sure. Good morning, guys. Here we are, Schotia Safaris private game reserve. You had a good time, Johnny?
Brilliant, mate.
Where are we going?
Today we're going to Oudtshoorn.
Where are we going now?
We're going to go pick up the guests now.
The African massage.
We've been in different accommodation to the guests last night. What happens in the Scotia is you go on game safari, and then you go to the lap of your meal, and then you go on night safari and get dropped off in your accommodation.
Just one second while I just disturb you. Any minute now. Good morning, everybody.
That's cool, eh? You don't get that anywhere else in the world. So yeah, we're going to go pick them up, see how they slept. Some of them have been in tented camps last night, no electricity, no Wi-Fi, cut off from the world.
And there's a giraffe. On the left? Oh yeah, on the hill up there.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to wake up.
Cool. Everyone's still riding the high from Scotia. The game drives, the wildlife, those up-close moments that you just can't put into words. Spirits are high this morning as we swing back onto the bikes and start our journey towards Oudtshoorn. This stretch is something special. The road climbs into the mountains, twisting and switching back through some of the best riding terrain in South Africa. Every corner opens up another jaw-dropping view. Deep valleys, sheer rock faces, and those sweeping bends that make every biker's heart beat just a little bit faster. As we gain altitude, the air cools, the engines hum, and the whole day slips into that perfect flow, the kind of rhythm you never want to break. It's pure riding joy, kilometre after kilometre. And this evening, for anyone who wants even more, there's the optional ride up Mingsport Pass, which most people opted for. As a biker, it's absolutely unreal. Towering cliffs, smooth curves, and a road that feels like it was crafted purely for the love of two wheels. A perfect end to an already unforgettable day. While we were all sat having a well-earned beer last night, a few of the lads came up with a brilliant, or insane idea. Set the alarms for 4 AM and ride up Swartberg Pass at sunrise. And wow, what a ride it was. Empty roads, golden light hitting the mountains, and one of the most spectacular passes in South Africa all to themselves. Pure magic. Pure adventure. As we wind our way down through South Africa, carving through those last few twisty roads, there's this growing sense of anticipation, because we know what's waiting for us ahead. Cape Agulas, the true southernmost point on the continent of Africa. When you get to Cape Agulas, it hits you all at once. We've ridden from Cape Town to Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe, across countries, deserts, mountains and coastlines, and now we're standing at the very bottom of Africa. What a feeling. After this milestone, it's time for 2 well-earned days relaxing in Hermanus. Ocean air, great food, we were lucky enough to see whales, and a chance to reflect on just how incredible this journey has been so far.